Michelin guide. Japan might not spring to mind, yet its restaurants together have more stars than in any other country. Lake Toya is over 600 miles and a world away from Tokyo. Here is a rural community in the shadow of active volcanoes. This is a place full of surprises. For on a hill, towering over the tractors, is a hotel like a fortress from Star Wars. The Windsor is a 5-star golf resort and spa. This vast hotel boasts no less than 3 Michelin-starred restaurants. One of them, the quintessentially French, Michel Bras Toya. In 2012, Michel Bras Toya was awarded 3 Michelin stars. One of the criteria for the guide's highest award is that a restaurant warrants a special trip.
It's a huge hotel in the middle of nowhere in the countryside. So guests have to plan their journey to come here. Some of them come from Tokyo, so they have to take a flight. You have to take 2 hours train. It's a long journey.
The restaurant is not a place diners might arrive at by accident. Though when they do, the panorama alone makes the journey worthwhile.
All the tables face the lake, so they have one of the most beautiful views in the world. We don't need to have any picture on the wall. Yeah, the nature talks by itself.
The view does play a huge role in the meal and is very exciting. It's not necessarily going to make the food better, but if you're sitting somewhere for several hours and it's beautiful, it definitely gives you a wonderful experience.
Cédric Bourassin heads up the kitchen for Michel Bras, a world-renowned chef whose original restaurant is in Layolle in France.
Michel Bras, for me, is a genius. He's very famous because he's using a lot of vegetables. The cooking style is a bit lighter.
Michel was invited to bring his brand of classic French cooking to this remote part of Japan in 2002.
Japanese people are interested with Michel cooking because I think Michel Bras corresponds to their culture a bit. I mean, Michel is someone humble, simple, quiet. And when you see Japanese people in the street, they are like this as well. They are not showing off. I think it's a good match between Japan and Michel Bras.
Whether here or in France, where Michel's first restaurant opened 23 years ago, his hallmark is local produce.
This restaurant is a French fine dining. My goal here is to reproduce the cooking style of France with the local ingredients.
Michel Bras Toya is a sophisticated French restaurant in rural Japan. The ingredients for this fine French cuisine are sourced locally in Hokkaido, Japan's farming capital. For chef Cédric Bourassin, localism is key.
They are very good producer in Hokkaido.
We have few ingredients from France, like foie gras. There is no foie gras in Japan. But it doesn't make sense for us to bring a fish from France. Here, you get the fresh fish every morning. So, and in Japan, the quality of fish, meats, vegetables are amazing. So I would like to say 80% of our ingredients are coming from Japan. And for me, it's very important.
A key feature of the food offering here is something no self-respecting French restaurant could ever do without, whatever country it is in.
Giving the bread at the beginning of the meal is French. For French people, it's so important. So we make for each table some bread and we put actually the name of the guest on it. And they do appreciate that. And we have to take the picture with their mobile phone and to just put it on Facebook or straight away today, look, I'm in Michel Bras to a Japan restaurant and look what they did for us, the bread with my name. And when a guest wait a month to get his table to have a dinner, is expecting something special. And I think it starts with that kind of things.
These special touches are not unique to Michel Bras Toya. All are meticulously modelled on his original restaurant in the village of Layol in France.
They have to have the same style. It's the same name, same cuisine, and why not the same service or the same standard of mise en place? I'm in charge of this place to keep the same quality, Layol, Toya, and same way to work.
From the hanging chainmail curtain to the running water, and from the tablecloths
Michel didn't want it to have a cloth who goes right to the floor. You can see that looks a bit more modern than the French classic fine dining restaurant.
to the cutlery.
So his idea wanted first to put all in one side to make it his own style. And of course, after he designed the table rest and he put just 3 cutlery, just 1 knife, 1 fork, and 1 spoon. And even on the table rest, you can see, precise, nice, and I would say simple as well.
The dressing of a table is a matter of subtlety. Where it's simply done to give you a rather elegant, clear space in which to enjoy your food, and it's done with taste and it's done with a clear vision of what you're trying to do, it's a lovely thing.
This warm starter, Gargouillou of young vegetables, is Michel Bras's most famous dish. It has been a favourite for nearly 40 years.
Definitely, this is our signature dish.
Des légumes, mon cher, le secret de la longévité. Des légumes.
All the vegetables cooked separately in a different way, cut in a different way as well.
This isn't just any old salad. It takes a team of up to 6 people 2 hours to put this one dish on a diner's table.
ガルグイユは、野菜とハーブ、こちらでやってるハーブも含めて全部で100種類ぐらいですね。全て北海道とあと地元のそういう農家さんに作っていただいた野菜を使ってます。
As the gargouillou, it's a beautiful dish because it changes every day, depending to the market, from the seasons, and according as well to the maturity of the vegetable. So aromatic herbs are not the same every day. Flowers are changing, so you can come Monday to Sunday, you will eat something different. Each vegetable are cut in a special way. Same for the aromatic herbs. For lovage, if you cut a too big piece of lovage, it's going to be a bit aggressive when you bite it. So you need to be gentle. Every bite is unique. You never eat twice the same vegetable. That makes this dish magic.
It's magic many try to emulate.
Michel Bras is well known all over the world from this dish. So it's like a brand. And a lot of people copy this dish all over the world.
It's very hard to come up with a truly original dish. Prior to the 1980s, chefs didn't come up with original dishes. Then with the introduction of Nouvelle Cuisine, it became about creating your own dishes. And that's where the battleground now lies. Can you create a truly unique dish which is not derivative of somebody else's?
We try to give a bit of emotion to the guest and to reproduce the soul of France.
Enjoying the soul of France through the 8-course tasting menu costs around $250. It's a similar price in the Mother restaurant in France. Though here in Japan, 6,000 miles away, there are some cultural differences.
If you compare France to Japan, the portion in Japan are smaller. We have to be gentle with salt as well, because in Europe we eat a lot with salt, but in Japan not. It's keeping us under pressure and improving ourselves every day.
Japanese people eat earlier than French people, so which means that we open at dinner time at 6 o'clock, which is not even possible in Europe.
The thing is amazing in Japan, people, they respect the time of booking. That means when they say I arrive at 6 p.m., they are here at 6:00, and when they arrive at 6:30, they are here at 6:30. So it's very, very good for us.
知識という意味で言いますと、私たちのお店に来るようなお客様は西洋の方と今はそれほど変わらないように思っています。詳しい方もたくさんいらっしゃいますし、ただですね、傾向としましては日本人の方はあんまり風味の強いものよりは繊細なものを料理と合わせるのが好きなように感じておりますし。
Over half the restaurant's guests are from Japan. The rest come from all over the globe, gastro-tourists who will travel the world for a gastronomic treat.
2 weeks ago, we had a couple come from Bangkok, and they just make a reservation just to come at Michel Bras restaurant. In fact, they come in Japan not for Japan, they come in Japan for us. So we are very happy.
In 2008, the restaurant hosted a different kind of diner when the world's political leaders assembled in Toya for the 34th G8 summit.
Michel came especially to create a special menu for these top leaders of the world and to try to show the Bras philosophy and the spirit of the restaurant.
首相たちにはサービスすることはございませんでしたが、ファーストレディーの方々には接客をさせていただきました。ですね、自分が生まれ育った北海道という土地でサミットが行われたことは非常に光栄で、ハッピーなことでしたし、そしてG8 の方々ですね、大きい国アメリカや、そして日本の首相もそうですし、イギリスの大統領なども来ていただいたのは非常に覚えております。
Another Michel Bras signature dish is the coulon, a biscuit-like cake with a liquid filling. Desserts here are about indulgence and fun.
At the end of the meal, we bring a trolley with cones, and it's very playful.
So impressive for the guests. I mean, when you bring that big trolley to the room, the people are, wow, look at that. And they just, next table, they say, oh, I hope I'm going to have it. You can hear it sometimes, You're serving the guests with the mousse, sorbet, and ice cream. And they're like, oh, I hope I'm going to have it. So sometimes I go through the table and say, I'm sorry, no, it's not part of your menu. And they're like, oh. I say, no, of course it's for everybody. So I try to make people happy and laughing.
There is always and forever an element of performance to a manager's job and to a restaurant performance in order to deliver this amazing experience, this amazing and memorable experience that the guest is looking for all the time.
We're not going on that way to be the best, to be like the best restaurant in the world or no. It's not our spirit. What we just do is make sure that every day we're good on what we do, with a smile, of course, and that's it.
If you are not passionate, you cannot do this job, definitely. It's much more than a job. In fact, it's an honor. It's really a pleasure to work in Japan. I'm very lucky.